Hey guys, Frank Cox here. On today's video, I'm gonna do a review on these Tiger ceramic discs. I don't do a lot of product reviews, but I'm also gonna show you how I use these in my shop and what I follow up with. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. So what I told you here is I'm going to give you a review on these discs, and I figured what's the best way to do that? Let's actually use the dang thing, right? So this is a 1,000-gallon tank I'm building for my buddy Jeff Budd down at Apocalypse Barbecue in Miami. And what we got to do, we rolled this thing up on its back. These legs don't look good because there's a pair of these tanks together, so I got to cut these legs off. Anyway, what I chose to do that with is, first of all, plasma cutter. And if you can tell, we already cut these off because you all know about that already. Aaron basically just cut right here, boom, sheared it off. I've already ground one of these down. And in the middle of that, I was like, dang, I need to do a video about this. So here we are. All right, guys. So on today's video, we're featuring these Tiger ceramic by Wheeler. I think it says W-E-I-L-E-R. Anyway, I got these on Amazon. They're really good discs, I'm telling you. So my research, the way I went through this is I was just trying to figure out, like, price is an issue, but I also want the thing to last a really dang long time. Like the DeWalt ones from Menards don't last. I want to get something that's going to last, and I want to make fast work out of cleaning up some of these welds and things like this. So I wound up choosing these Tiger ceramic for a couple of reasons. They're mostly designed for super hardened material. Like if you're going to use like AR plate or something, or if you're going to use stainless, any kind of really hard material, these are really cut out for that. But I don't really work with a lot of that, but I know this thing will make fast work out of the weld that we're trying to grind off, right? So it didn't specifically say that it's usable on mild steel, but I don't care, I'm using them anyway, and they're working really, really good. So one important thing to note about these discs, and I got them on Amazon, I'll put the link in the description for you, but you have to use these things towed, what I call towed in. You got to be on a 45 or whatever that angle says. I can't read it because I have my glasses on. So what that basically means is when you're using that, you're always going to have this on an angle like this towing into whatever you're grinding on. Most of that is because if you look at the usable section of this disc is all on the end right there. It's designed for cutting through welds and stuff like that. Now, once I get my rough cut, yeah, see,
show example.
Oh yeah, see, that's how much use we've gotten out of that first disc we got. It's pretty ridiculous, tons of use. So, also, by the way, just so you know, handling it with my hands, I'm unplugged, so. So I do not recommend using this on anything except a grinder that is designed to run a 6-inch disc. That's what this is. If you try to run this on a 4-inch angle grinder, you're just gonna burn your grinder up, first of all, but then you're not gonna have a guard big enough to hold this. One thing I'll tell you, you can probably, if you wanted to, you could examine my fingers for all the scars and the stitches and the crap like that and places I got hurt. There are certain things that I just will not do without a guard, and this is one of them. You know, like here's some road rash right here on my glove. So, I mean, be careful because they can hurt you. So anyway, that's this grinder. I'm going to show you some more about it here in just a minute. But once we're done with that rough cut, like here's one I already ground off, and we're up above the surface of this material. I didn't get down inside the material, and I'll show you how I controlled that. We're going to follow up with this other cool disc, and this is all Aaron right here. These are the Cubitron 3M Cubitron discs is what these are. And these are specifically designed for going flat is what they're for. So whenever I come back in here, I'm going to be able to flat this out, and I'm not going to dig in past the material. These are not designed to tow in. What these use is it's a flat disc, and Aaron showed these to me because what we were trying to do is we were trying to paint the surface, and we wanted that surface to be flat. We didn't want to see the edges of the weld bubble whenever we're grinding that flat. And that's what these are for. These are for getting that surface to be completely flat. These will glide right over the top of mill scale and not dig in, and then it will take out your weld puddle that's in between. So these are awesome if you're looking for a patina finish or something like that. The backer pad is separate from the disc, and these are not cheap. Like I say, 3M Cubitron, I'll put a link in the description for these. We use these exclusively in here, but these are not for rough cleanup. These are for finish work. And if you tow in, you'll just wear this backer pad out. I'll also put a link to that backer pad, which is from Benchmark. So 2 pieces of plate is what I was talking about a minute ago. You got to weld down the middle and you want to blend that surface. That's what these are for. I call them flatters, but blending, yes. Okay, anyway, let's get on into this. I got to change cords around. One thing I'll tell you, you know, I can't see for crap out of safety glasses. Make sure you got all your safety gear, earplugs, the whole bit. You do what I say, not what I do. But anyway, you know, that's the thing I always say about DIY guys. So when I get these guys that have like, so this is for us smoker builders, right? This is totally okay to say this, because the manufacturing guys out there aren't listening to this. So DIY guys are the guys that do unsafe things in unsafe places with unsafe stuff, right? So I am licensed to do a little bit of that, but I try to keep it legit. So don't hate on me too bad, you know. At least I got my gloves on. And I got the guard on the thing, so I'm there, right? All right, here we go. The one thing I want to show you real quick is how I control the depth that I'm grinding at. This is really important. So this guard isn't just a guard to me, it's also a kickstand. It's going to help me guide my depth. And so when I did this a minute ago, I take the edge of this guard, and of course my hands are up here and out of the way, my guard's in place. I don't use that handle because I don't have no control over it. I got better control right here for what I'm doing. I can feel it. And so we always want to use the safe side of the grinder. So this thing is spinning like that, right? So what it's going to do is if you use this part to grind with, it's going to throw everything out and away and get in somebody's face. If you do it the other way, matter of fact, it'll, talking about safety a minute ago, it's probably go over there and going to get the gas can that you left over there, right? So you don't want to do that. You want to throw it down at your feet. So this part of the grinder is the friendly side. This part is the not friendly side. So what I use is the bottom part of this as a kickstand. And remember I said we're going to use this disc on a 45 to kind of kick in. And so as I'm grinding, when you watch here in a second, you're going to see that I'm going to take this and I'm going to take a piece of this. I'm almost cutting in the edge of it. And then I'm going to move up and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to move up and do it again. At the whole time I'm doing that, I'm watching the toe of this weld. And I'm making sure that I'm not getting out into the base metal any. I'm just basically taking that top surface off. So I rolled this tank over, Aaron and I did. We're gonna get in here and we're gonna cut this one up. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna use my kickstand here. Remember I told you. All right, here we go. Just so you know, Aaron made me stop the whole train to write, so he could write this on there for you guys. So we captured some B-roll. He did a really good job too. So this is our raw plasma cut, step 1. That's what he did. Yeah, see, we cut that leg off so craftily. We, as in Aaron, did it. 2 is our first pass with the hard disc. That's the one I did before we started the video. Then here in a minute, we'll show you the next thing. Here we go, kickstand. You gotta grind in, towing into that weld. So we could literally hit that more with this right here. But I just want to show you how quick it made work out of that. Now I did kind of pivot a little bit too hard right there, but that doesn't scare me. We can run the flatter in there and take care of that. You can see up here, even the plasma kind of got down in. Not the end of the world. We're looking for a patina on this, but that just shows you that, you know, like all them 4-inch discs that you would have used to sit here and go flat and grind and grind and grind and grind and try to wear yourself out getting that down. Or especially if you were using a flat disc, like a 60 grit flat disc, you're breathing all that junk because those are cheap and you're breathing all that junk coming off of there, you know. We just made really fast work out of that. So here we go. Now we've got this thing here. I could dress this up a little bit more, but let's move on to the flatter or the blender, whatever you want to call it. Okay guys, so hey, now we're gonna move on to this blender part. And this is the disc we talked about a minute ago. There is, like, these things come in a bag that's got a zipper case on them. You're supposed to keep them sealed up and keep them dry. So whenever you get them and all that, but there's also some storage recommendations. These things perform best when they're stored like this, and they're expensive. These are not cheap. So you wanna make sure and do what it says on the package. But these are the Cubitron, I don't know what the hell, from 3M. But see, look, they're just a little old disc. And these are suitable for a 4-inch angle grinder. I've got my Milwaukee today, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of times I wind up putting that backer pad on my Harbor Freight Bauer grinder. They work great on there. So you need that backer plate and this little nut right here when you're changing them out. But you can see that when these things start out, you can see they got some serious grindage happening on that. What are them things, like 39 grit or something? 36 grit is what this one is. That's the grit we're using. But anyway, that's what they are. 3M they're the Cubitron. Is that 2s or 3s?
2.
Cubitron 2. There we go. So anyway, when you get one out, make sure you zip the dang thing up. They wouldn't have put a zipper on it if you wasn't supposed to zipper it, right? Boom, zipped up. Now, like I say, we don't use a guard on this on purpose because, as you see when I use this, I'm gonna have this thing sitting flat, and you physically can't use this disc properly with a guard on it unless you trim the guard back. So if you're a safety Nazi and you want that, let me do it up here. If you're a safety Nazi and you want your guard, you're gonna have to cut your guard up in order to use it. So here we go. And the key, like I said, is you gotta keep this flat. You can't be toeing in on stuff. As soon as you get lazy and you start doing like this here, you're just gonna start wearing that backer pad off, and that backer pad is the life. Oh, actually, what'll happen is if that backer pad, like you drop this on the ground or something like that, you could dent or warp this backer pad, and that will actually make this thing wobble. When this thing starts wobbling, you're not gonna be able to use it anymore. You're gonna have to get a new backer pad because you won't be able to keep it flat and just sit here and do it'll just be like that the whole time, right? Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna try not to knock your thing off. You can see how good of a job that did. Now, when you get into a situation where there's some undercut, like right there in the weld, you're gonna have to actually go, if you want this to be like body shop work, you're gonna have to go back in and fix that. If you're not worried about it, roll on, brother. It'll rust up and be pretty like your patina. And that's actually what we're going for on this cooker. We're not worried about hiding all that. We're actually gonna let it survive and live and talk about this thing was built in 1960. So, but anyway, I just wanted to show you how that works. You got anything you can add, Aaron? Maybe you want to give me the camera and you can talk about it. Aaron's in the spotlight. Here we go.
All of these pads have their own place, so you can try to skip around and skip steps, but it's just not going to produce the same results. So you got the hard disc to kind of get things down. You're going to come in and blend that almost shy of flush, and then you'll come in with this blending disc and you'll get these results right here. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's short work and it's a great result at the end.
How many of those discs do you think you used over the years?
I don't want to admit to how many I've used over the years. I should start investing in those.
There you go. Okay, guys. So anyway, by the way, if you didn't know before, this is Aaron. He's up in the shop with me here. And more of our content is going to start sporadically turning into this kind of stuff. He's going to help me with that. So anyway, thanks, Aaron. I really appreciate it, dude. You're awesome. Okay. Anyway, guys, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel. You know all the dirty work there. But then make sure you go tune in over on SmokerBuilderU.com. Over there, we've got all of our community is there. It's a private place. There's no knife guys in there and all the bull crap that you get into. Just a bunch of guys like us. And there's a whole bunch of online courses coming. So stay tuned.